In this video, we're going to do an overview of the Braun LED shop lights from Harbor Freight. On our table here, we have the 5,000 and the 10,000 lumen LED Braun lights from Harbor Freight. And they basically come with everything you need, from installation hardware to a quick start owner's manual, and it's pretty self-explanatory. It has a little harness here that just plugs into your regular outlet that you'd have at your house, and you can link them together. You're able to link up 4 of these lights together on the 10,000 lumen, and on the 5,000 you're able to do 8 of them. So you can get the same amount of light out of the same amount of plugs, just having lighting options in different areas. So we're going to use these in our 2C containers. We have a 20-foot container, which is the standard height, and we have a 40-foot, which is a high cube. So we're going to see how far we can get with installing 2 of these lights in our 40-foot high cube container and 2 of these lights in our 20-foot standard height container. Now I will say that I did notice that when I unpackaged this that there was damage to this outside light here, but I'm not sure if that happened while we were transporting it or if it came that way because I ordered these online. But all in all, it just bent right back into shape and you can't tell that it was damaged at all. So that's pretty cool that these things are able to be kind of bent back out if they were damaged. And like I said, again, I've had these in my storage container. It's totally possible I put a heavy set of brake rotors on it. So I'm gonna say that these are robust so far. So these lights come with their own individual kits to help you mount them and install them wherever you want. I'm installing these in a C container and I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to place them. So what I did is I purchased these neodymium hook magnets from Harbor Freight as well. And I'm going to just put these onto the roof of each of the containers and hook them in so I can decide how far I think I need to be able to space these out inside the container itself. So let's go ahead and see what one light does at the way back of the container. So I have installed one of the lights so far. I just used tube magnets, hung it up to the roof, and hooked up an extension cord so I can plug this thing in. This is our 40-foot high cube container. So as you can see at the back of the container, this is our 40-foot high cube. We have pretty fantastic lighting and you get really good light, I would say 6 feet on either side of the light itself. And then after that, it starts to taper back down. But if you were just trying to light up the back of an area that I would say would be like a 8 foot wide, because we're in a C container, to probably 14 feet long, this Braun 10,000 lumen light would really do a fantastic job. All right, so what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm just gonna set up 2 of my hook magnets, and I'm gonna actually set up 3 and put one in my pocket in case I drop it while I'm on my little ladder. But they literally just screw together and then they're ready to rock and roll. I'll grab another one and I'll just thread it in, and then I'll flip the light over. And I'm gonna grab my bag of goodies and just open my bag of goodies, and I'm just gonna use this little stringer here. And I'll just hook it in to the back here, just like this, and fold it in, and I'll do the same thing on the other side. Now, the thing to remember when installing these is that they can only be, without modification, installed as far as the other outlet can be. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug this guy into itself, and this is how we're gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna go into the container and get all set up. Now that we have the first light installed, I can show you how we did the second one. I'm literally just gonna magnet this to the roof and very gently pull down on the pull cord so that I can see how I like the lighting. Now, the extension cord is only as far as you're going to be able to go. So I'll measure out that length, but they look like they can go about 6 or 7 feet apart. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this guy set up and to the roof and then plug it in. So what I'm gonna do is hook this magnet up, and one magnet is actually strong enough to hold the entirety of the weight. Now you don't want to go yanking down on it because you'll drop this thing straight from the ceiling. So I'll go ahead, just hook this baby in, and as you can see, it supports itself under its own weight. So now I'm just going to go ahead and install the other light, or the other magnet I mean, just to the roof, very gently. with my magnet, like so. And once that's on there, this baby's not gonna go anywhere. So now I just have to go ahead and hook these two lights together. I'm gonna go ahead and plug the second one in and turn on the light. And now I'm gonna go ahead and string the two together really quickly. Now, if Magic Hands can hand me the other dangly boy. Magic Hands is how we refer to the camera operator here at Revit. It's like, where did this guy come from? Magic Hands. They are directional, so they only go in one way, like a normal outlet, and they just clip right in. Yeah, and it's bright. I mean, it's super bright in here. I mean, like, the camera's probably having difficulty adjusting to my pasty self. So I apologize. I will work on getting tan. It's just not in my DNA. We could actually probably move this back just a little bit to kind of spread the light out. But this is pretty incredible. And as you can see here, the lights can be about 6 feet apart, which is super bright. This is going to make our lives a lot easier, and all of you guys can see how disorganized we are in our container right now. But don't worry, in 2 weeks when we totally go through and gut this thing, it's gonna be fantastic. What's up, Angel?
What's up, Blair?
Gucci. All right, so that's not together, and it's about as far apart as they can go. So if we were to buy 4 of these, we would have the most insane lighting of any sea container that I know of. So I think we're going to purchase 2 more. And the great thing is that they're like really affordable and they have coupons all the time. Now this has a slightly different mounting way than the other one did. So what I'm gonna do is gonna hurt some people's feelings. I'm just gonna shove this guy in here and then kind of bend it into place to lock it in and be in the position that I want it to be in. And I know that you guys are crying at home that like this is a terrible idea, but I don't know where I'm gonna mount these yet, and I just wanna have them on the magnets for right now. So this is how I'm gonna have it hooked up. You probably can't see much of what's going on, but I'm just gonna go ahead and magnet this baby to the top. Now this is our 20-foot standard height. This is not a high-rise 20-foot cube container. This is the smaller of the bunch, but that's okay because we're using smaller lights. So I'll just raise it up and drop my magnet in. Quick and easy. Alrighty, so I got this guy on here, nicely tucked up. And what's interesting is that the 2-light one has a 3-prong connector and the 4-light one has a 2-prong connector. I'm gonna make sure that I have the side that will plug into one another, facing one another. And I'm just gonna hook up my magnet like I did the first time. And these magnets really just hold it up. If you pull down on it, you know, you could probably pull the light off. But I'm gonna actually have all these wired to a switch, so it does not matter to me very much. And they are super lightweight and easy to manage. I appreciate it. Thank you, Magic Hands. Making sure I don't drop the magnet. Just bending it a little bit, hurting all the people watching this at home who are like, just install it correctly. It's like, well, I'm not ready to mount it yet correctly. So I'm figuring it out still. All right, that's where I'm gonna leave that sucker. And I'll just go ahead and plug it in. I have this thing unplugged. I'm gonna see how far apart I can bring these because the cord is not on the end, it's actually kind of in the center. So I'll go ahead and plug this guy in, and then I'll reposition it to be as far as possible, to provide as much light as possible. Okay, so that's, again, probably between 5 and 6 feet apart from one another. I'm gonna go ahead, plug this bad boy in. Let's see how much light we have going on in here. Oh, what's also cool is that you don't have to have all the lights on. So the rear light is on right now, even though it is plugged in through the front light. So that's a pretty cool feature. So you don't have to have them both plugged in or on at the same time. You can individually have them be on or off. And now that we have everything on, you really only need to have 2 of the 5,000 lumen Braun LED lights from Harbor Freight to light up your 20-foot sea container and have it be incredibly bright to be able to see everything. I would say you could go between 3 and 4 on your 40-foot sea container of the 10,000. But if you were to put the 10,000 inside the space, it would be so bright, I think it would actually end up hurting your eyes. But this is a pretty fantastic little light system. It's super inexpensive, really affordable, and provides fantastic light. So if you're looking for inexpensive lighting, the Braun Harbor Freight 5,000 lumen and 10,000 lumen LED lights are incredibly easy to install. They're pretty durable. I dropped one of these during the installation process and it's totally fine. You can bend the tabs out of the way and bend them back into position if you damage them. But there's a couple of things that I want to mention. I do not think that the 5,000 and the 10,000 can easily be wired together. That's because the base plate of them, what you actually plug in the outlet side, is a 3-prong on the 5,000, and on the 10,000 it's only a 2-prong. So I don't think that you can link them together. I think you can only have them be set up that way. Now the 5,000 one, you can have up to 8 of these lights linked together, and on the 10,000 you're only able to have 4 of them linked together. But remember, the 10,000 is double the 5,000 and is putting out such an incredible amount of light that you really don't need to have them. So our 40-foot sea container is perfect with having 4 of those lights. It's going to be so bright, it's going to be the equal brightness to what we have here. And that's a 40-foot high top, high cube sea container. We're standing right now in the 20-foot sea container, and this is just a standard height. It's not the high top, so if I reach up I can touch the top of the ceiling in my high cube. I can't even get close to it. But these lights seem like they're, you know, inexpensive, durable, and they use 18% of the amount of energy that a standard light of this size and caliber would be able to do. They say that you never have to change the bulbs. I don't know if the bulbs are serviceable, but if we have one go out, we'll definitely go ahead and give it a try. But with these LED lights that are coming out with the technology, you pretty much just plug them in and you're done. I mean, we have the Harbor Freight Road Shock lights on 2 of our trucks. We've had them running for 2 years, and we've had no performance issues since, you know, they started. We had one that got hit by a trailer. We had one that got hit by a giant bar, and it still works. And if you want to see those videos, you can follow us and subscribe on our YouTube channel. But all in all, I would say that this is a really inexpensive, fast way to go ahead and add light to a sea container or to a shop. And you could do this in under an hour. Thanks for watching this video. I'm Blair with Revit Auto, and as always, happy motoring.